Hey everyone, welcome. Get ready because today we're jumping right into a high-energy explainer, doing a dual-layer deep dive into one of the absolute most profound ancient Kabbalistic secrets. We're looking at the ultimate transformation of Joseph. Now look, we've all heard the historical narrative, right? The family drama, the coat of many colors, the whole shebang. But today, we're peeling back the dimensions. We're going to explore the hidden mechanics, the totally unseen blueprint of how a deeply fractured family actually became the conduit for cosmic mercy, and why ultimately Joseph is crowned as the true brother. Let's get right into it. Who will give you to me as a brother? Just let those words sit with you for a second. Wow. This incredibly powerful line from the Zohar, Parashat Vayeshev, really frames our entire journey today. It's not just some passing poetic phrase. It establishes a profound human tragedy. It represents this ultimate aching yearning for true connection right in the face of absolute betrayal. It asks the central echoing mystery of all this. What does true brotherhood actually mean when the very people who are supposed to protect you are the ones who literally tear you down? Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to picture this scene as vividly as a movie. The desert sun is just beating down. Joseph is languishing at the bottom of a dark, rocky pit. Above him, his own brothers, his flesh and blood, you guys, are physically turning their backs on him. You can almost see the dust settling on the ground as they walk away, leaving a completely fractured family in their wake. This isn't just a historical event. It's a visceral, deeply broken emotional connection. It is the absolute zero of human relationships. So that brings us to a massive, really provocative question. If this is where the story bottoms out, how on earth does a glitch of such deep, devastating betrayal reboot into a system of ultimate covenantal mercy? Like, how do you actually go from the trauma of the pit to the salvation of an entire region? We're pivoting right now from reading this as a simple historical story to looking at it as a cosmic blueprint of cause and effect. And honestly, it's a blueprint that applies directly to how we handle betrayal in our own lives right now. Well, to answer that, we have to look at the sod, the secret level of the text. This is the hidden, esoteric energy mechanics operating entirely beneath the surface narrative of physical reality. So I want to call out to all the generations watching right now. For the adults, we are looking at the cosmic engineering of the Sephirotic, the divine emanations that structure reality. And for the kids tuning in, I want you to think of this like the source code of a video game. We are literally looking past the graphics on the screen to see the actual programming language that makes the whole game run. It's totally mind-blowing. Now, looking at the cosmic engineering behind this, we can actually map these divine attributes, the Sephiro, directly onto the story. Think of Joseph as the foundation, or yesod. He basically acts as a funnel. He takes the harsh restraint of the pit, that's Gevora, and physically manifests it down in Egypt, which represents Malchut. And by doing that, he eventually unlocks Chesed, this massive flow of loving kindness and nourishment, which leads to perfectly balanced mercy, Tiferet, and ultimate acknowledgement, Hod. He's literally absorbing all these intense chaotic energies and brilliantly realigning them. All right, kids, listen up, because this is where that tech analogy totally clicks. Think of Joseph as the ultimate brother server. First, we have the crash, right? The brothers disconnect Joseph, essentially dropping the entire family system offline. Bam. Then comes the descent. Joseph falls all the way down to the lowest possible server, Malchut, or Egypt. But down there, he starts restoring bandwidth. He processes all that intense gevura, all that glitchy, restrictive code. When the famine hits, he drops health packs. The granaries open up, deploying chesed, pure nourishment, to a starving world. And finally, we get the emotional sync, that tearful embrace between Joseph and his brothers that actually reconnects the entire network through Tiferet. He restored a completely crashed network. The sheer scale of this system crash actually comes down to the numbers. Let's start with 12. There were 12 brothers who initiated this complete fragmentation of the family. The number 12 here represents the totality of the structure that was supposed to be completely unified. But instead, their collective action brought the whole network down, kicking off that descent into darkness. Then, think about the number 2. This represents the 2 very distinct, incredibly dramatic falls into another's hands. And this juxtaposition is what makes the story so deeply powerful. First, we have Joseph falling completely defenseless into the hands of his brothers at the pit. And second, years later, the absolute reversal, the brothers, starving and desperate, falling completely into Joseph's hands in Egypt. 2 falls, but with 2 entirely different outcomes. Which brings us, finally, to the number 1. Because despite the 12 brothers who broke the system, and despite the 2 dramatic falls into vulnerability, there is only one true provider. Joseph stands as the singular yesod, the one foundation who bridges that impossible gap, absorbs the trauma, and sweetens the harsh judgment to literally save them all. And this brilliantly illustrates what Kabbalists call the alchemy of colors, a concept deeply explored in texts like the Pardes Ramonim. Now, fun fact, while modern psychology often links the color red to passion or anger, Kabbalistic texts view it specifically as Gevurah, strict, severe judgment. That is the red betrayal, completely dominating the brothers' actions when they throw him in the pit. Then comes the processing phase. Joseph sits in that pit, and later the Egyptian prison, containing that intense red energy. He doesn't just reflect it back. Finally, we get white compassion. White represents chesed, love and kindness. Joseph painstakingly engineers the red energy of vengeance into the white energy of pure forgiveness. He literally turns betrayal into compassion. And that leads us right into the ultimate moral reversal, the true core teaching of why Joseph is crowned the true brother. Just look at this contrast. When Joseph falls into their hands, what do? They show zero brotherhood, nothing. They offer betrayal and the darkness of a dry pit. But when the tables turn and they fall into his hands, what does he do? He offers nourishment. He offers comfort. He throws the granaries of Egypt wide open. He takes the ultimate opportunity for vengeance and he sweetens it into covenantal mercy. That right there is the definition of the true brother. This whole incredible journey is beautifully captured in the actual text of the Zohar itself. It states, Joseph went into the valley of the shadow of death to Egypt. The Shekhinah was with him. They rushed him from the pit. I mean, that is just beautiful. Even in the absolute deepest darkness, the Shekhinah, the divine presence, it never left him. It was this exact presence, this constant, unwavering connection to the source that allowed Joseph to survive the pit and eventually facilitate that ultimate, cinematic sink of tears and embrace with the very brothers who betrayed him. So it really leaves us with a profound question. The next time someone drops your network or throws you into a metaphorical pit, will you reflect that red judgment back at them, or will you be the ultimate brother server and transform it into white compassion? Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.